more of like the standard projections that we do. The regional vocationals are very different.
Yeah, got it. I understand. Yeah.
And I can maybe at one of the meetings coming up, we can get into the very basically some of the differences between the standard ones, the regional academics, and the regional vocationals.
Got it.
Yeah, I'm going to do South Shore, I guess, in the next week or so, and then I'll walk through it with you so that you understand what it is that we did. There are some similarities, but there's some major differences too. So
Sure. Sure.
So do you what do you want to do? Go through Leominster?
Sure. Let's go through
Or
Leominster.
do you want to go through Leominster, or do you want to talk about adjustments? Yeah, sure.
How about we'll go through Leominster and talk about adjustments looking at Leominster?
Okay. All right. Well,
It's up to you, Joe.
I just wanted to give you, without getting too deep into the actual process, give you some background
Sure.
on where the adjustments came from.
So let's open, because I'm a visual person. Let's open adjustment. So I opened, one sec, let me...
Well, before you do that, Jana, I stuck a folder in your training folder.
Okay, I'm in training.
Okay, let me see if I can open it now. In training, you'll see at the somewhere in probably close to the bottom, there's a PDF of MAPC.
PC, yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Open that one. Oh, let me share it.
Okay.
This is the basis, and this is something you can do offline. Is look at this report, but this is the basis for the construction bump. So back in 2009, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. You see, it says, if you build it, they will come.
Yes. I think it's familiar. It looks familiar. Maybe John.
Commissioned.
Yeah. It looks familiar. Maybe John told me to read it at the very beginning.
He could have. But this is a study that MAP, Metropolitan Area Planning Council, did for us back 2009. We had asked them, because we had heard from a lot of districts when we first started getting into this, that when you build a new school, all of a sudden there's this inrush of kids that come back to the district that left the district. Well, nobody had any real solid evidence that this was an actual phenomenon. It was more a gut feeling from people. So we asked MAPC to study it for us. So that what they did was, this study is, they went back and looked at 10 years worth of construction, I think about 300 construction events. And they studied what bringing that school online did to, what effect it had on enrollment. And what it did, bottom line is, I mean, you can really cut to the chase, I think, if you get to, there's 23 pages here. You know, you get to the end and the conclusions. It has some recommendations, conclusions and recommendations, page 13. This kind of distills it all down into giving us recommendations on how to address this so-called construction bump. And basically what they say is, I'll walk through it with Leominster on the spreadsheet, is for a 4-year period after the school opens, statistically there's been a difference in enrollments. So they gave us some formula to adjust the survival ratios for the affected grades for the 4 years post-construction.
Yep.
And then we adjust those 4 years, and then we adjust it back to whatever the average was.
Yeah, and on the 4th year, it normalizes, right? It goes to
Well,
back.
it's actually in the 5th year, and the 5th year it normalizes, goes back to.
Oh, on the 5th year, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's, without getting into a lot of detail, like I said, take a look at this report. Pay most attention to the conclusions and recommendations portion, but it'll get it, and then it's got a list of all the schools that were studied, all the construction events that were studied, and it's got a few other tidbits of information that might be helpful, but the conclusions and recommendations is the most important part. So that's the basis of the construction bump. And I'll get into the development bump when we get into the spreadsheet and tell you what that's all about. Honestly, I don't remember. I think that the development adjustment came from the folks that originally set up our process, our enrollment projection process. And that was another consultant that we used back from 2000 I want to say 2007, 2008, somewhere around there. But I can tell you what that's about. And that's more easily explained right in the spreadsheet itself.
Yeah, I remember half a year ago, John gave me this document and told me to read page 13, so I remember. This looks familiar.
Okay, so well, when you get a minute, take a look at that, and that's what the construction bump is all about.
Yeah. Okay.
So we can get into Lemonster now, if we would like.
Sure. Okay. So let me share. One sec. Do I have it open? Okay, Lemonster. Okay. Okay. So. So I updated this this portion.
Yep.
And then I updated tables, and I because you were not as fast as John, I was able to catch where all the information is coming from, so that I don't have to ask you second time. And I put my notes here on every step. So basically, and I think it's very useful.
Sure.
Like where this table, this is first where this table is located, and what's the name of it, right? And then, it was easy. I pasted the data here. Now, what I like to do, just when it's my personal spreadsheets, I like when it's a formula, I just like to make it blue so that I know immediately that this is a formula.
I see. Okay.
And black is just, data,
regular.
Pasted, regular,
That's a good idea.
So next to each table, I just put notes to myself, whatever is useful, so that I don't have to think where I have to get it.
Sure.
And like what steps, what to do. So that was it, and it's just nothing. It's from the previous page. So went through this, right? Pasted all this data. I said ignore population tab. And this step, so that's from here, and this is next is all blue, because this table is just feeding information from the previous one.
We should, just a side note, we should talk to John to see how much of this out-of-district stuff is actually being used, because this is being used in a different way, a little bit different than it was when I was doing this.
Yeah, or that would be great, because this way, if we get rid of all the unnecessary information, that's actually what I would like you to talk through. And then it will help us to create a better template that if some information is not used, then we can get rid of it.
Yeah. I think this information is helpful. It's just we didn't use it a lot this year. And I don't know if it's not going to be used, to your point, we should at least think about getting rid of it. Or if it is going to be used, it's this information, some of this information is out of date. We need to update it. And in order to update it, I need to get some new data from directly from DESE. They don't publish this information in this level of detail on their website.
So Joe, let's see. So how about as of right now, which table was not used? Because I can just start. It's very useful information, because I can start creating, my personal alternative template, and maybe with understanding and just stripping to the necessary. And maybe I was thinking, maybe I'll strip it to just necessary data, and then if it's something is missing, I'll add on. You know what I mean? Then we'll just delete what we think unnecessary. But if there is something needed, we always have this template to add the information back.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know if this out of district stuff. We got to talk to John about this. I didn't use it that much this year.
Okay.
I'm not sure I used it at all. I don't know if John did when he did the QA and did his analysis. I don't know if he used it at all. So we need to run that by him. And if we're going to use it, we need to update it. We need to make it a little bit more current. Okay, so do I look at this?
Okay, so that's that. Then I went and got information. Wait a second, for Lemonster. No, actually, sorry, I have to delete that, because that's from the previous one. Because I couldn't find this housing information was not available on our website.
Is Lemonster an SOI? Is it a new one? Do you know?
Well, it is. I'm not sure what do you mean, but this Lemonster, that's the one that we have to do for April. It's in Diane's spreadsheet. Is it what you mean? It is in SY.
Why are we doing it for Lemonster?
Why are we doing it? Okay, let me show you. Hold on.
Is it in the? Is it in our pipeline?
It is. See, remember this? That's from Diane spreadsheet.
Okay.
So Lemonster is here.
Oh, so this is just for next year. Okay.
Lemonster, South Shore here, and remember Berkshire is here. So that's why John mentioned Lemonster, because it's coming to April board.
It's coming to April board for as an SOI, because I don't think these have been announced yet.
Right. Yeah.
These are new core program projects that I don't think have been announced yet. So the reason why I ask is Lemonster won't have any permit data. It won't have an open project in the enrollment application until such time as they get an official invitation and they're officially in eligibility.
Yeah.
And they're not there.
Okay.
So you won't have any permitting information on this yet. We won't have any information in our enrollment application yet on any of these.
So, but is it? I mean, that's what John mentioned. That's why I decided to.
Sure. No, that's fine. I just needed some background information on where it was coming from. That's all.
So, but that's that. And for some reason, it's a stupid thing, but I tried to paste something from our page, PM system, and now I cannot get rid of it. It's so stupid. I have no idea. So anyway, that's that. Don't know. I can't delete this.
Oh wow.
So if you know the way, my Excel skills are not very good. So anyway.
Well, you know what? Hang on for a minute, Zach. Hang on. Let me try something here. Open the desktop app. Hang on for a second.
Sure. I just wanted to copy this data in this table and transpose, and so that I don't have to copy paste one by one, but this is actually, yeah.
That's weird. I opened it in the desktop application and it still can't do anything with it.
Yeah.
That's weird. I'll take a look at it.
Yeah.
Huh. What was it you tried to copy in it?
Well, remember on our PM system website, we have this table for the housing, and it is in a vertical format.
Oh yeah, okay, yep.
I wanted somehow, to copy paste here, transpose it so that it's in horizontal, so that I can just paste.
Yep. Good thought. I'm not sure why it didn't work, but it's good thought.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I'll have to dig in to see what's going on here. I don't know.